and good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Unlock Show. I'm Tracy Wilson. I'm going to be your host on here for about, 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to do a fast show today because I know that moving into 2021, there are a whole heap of you guys that are going to be listening to today's show, and you're over the Christmas break, normally we start thinking about, what's the new year going to look like? We start contemplating, what do I want my life to look like in the next sort of 12 months? And we start sort of having those thoughts about, geez, I should, maybe I should start my own business, or maybe you've already got one and you're thinking about developing something new. So today I thought I would run through the topic of how to actually decide on the type of business or the kind of business that you could be doing in 2021, so that when 2021, January rolls around and everybody's out there doing their New Year's resolution, and they're trying to, they've come up with whatever their New Year's resolution is. And usually with the New Year's resolution, it starts out with a hiss and with an absolute bang, and then all of a sudden it just peters off. Most people cannot continue to commit to their New Year's resolution. So I want to help you out here. The reason that I've decided that I would do this particular topic at this time of the year is because it was this time of the year that I went through this process. If I think back 7 or 8 years ago now to when I was thinking about, gee, I want to start my own business. And in fact, I thought I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and go out and do my own thing. It was at this time. It's the time where we sit down, we're with family, with friends, and we really do start to think about, what will life look like? What could life look like in 12 months' time? And the reality is that if you set this up the right way, most people underestimate what they can actually achieve in an entire year. So I want to make sure that I give you some really solid tips and tools to help you start 2021 really, really strongly. Now, I'm going to call this particular topic, it starts, you would have heard the amazing Simon Sinek, who I love listening to. You would have heard him talk about it starts with why. Well, I'm going to say it actually starts with what, all right? And you'll get to understand why I'm saying it starts with what rather than it starts with why in a moment, because I think that process of actually starting with why, and you might be going, well, Trace, I don't understand why you're saying that. I think it's flawed. And I think there's a flaw in that because often we start thinking about why do I want to do something, and we get to our why, but then we end up creating the what in the wrong way. So I actually want to start with what, and the way in which I think about things is it starts with what, we then go to who, we then go to why, we then go to how, and then we go to when. So if you think about this as like the ripple effect, it all starts right smack bang in the middle with the what. And I'm going to talk you through all of those, all of the components of this over the next 30 minutes. So if you haven't already got yourself a pen and paper, please go get yourself one and come back really quickly, because I'm going to go through this fast, but it's going to give you a framework to help you to think about what it is that you should be building and, potentially building for yourself in 2021. And like you've heard me say on multiple other shows, now is the time. Now is the time for you as an entrepreneur to step up, start your own business, start spreading your word, and really starting to make a difference in the world. And this is one of the processes that I go through with every single business that I create, and I've created many, that it actually starts with the what. So let's go there first. So this is what I do. So the very first question you want to ask yourself is what? What is it that I actually want? What does my dream life look like? What does my dream work life look like? So there's a big difference here. So as you're building your business right now, you are not in a position where, my dream life is sitting on a beach, sipping pina coladas in the Bahamas. Like right now, the reality is that you eventually want to do that. But the what right now is I want to start a business. So we're very much looking at it from that perspective. So if I were to start a business, the first question is what? What does my dream day look like? Does my dream day look like me serving customers in a shop? Does my dream day look like cooking food in a restaurant? Does it look like owning a cafe? Does it look like running an online program? Does it look like doing a show like this? So you're very much thinking about what is it that I want to be doing? And some other further questions you can ask in here is, what is it that you want to be doing? what lights you up? So what is it that you really enjoy doing? And if you could do that for a living every day of your life, what would that be? What are you great at? And if you could get a result for somebody, or you could solve a problem for someone, what would that be? Now, this process here works for any type of business. So I don't care whether you are selling, calculators, glasses, drink bottles, whatever it is. If it's a physical product, these questions still apply. What would my dream life look like? And if it's selling a physical product, then your answer is my dream life would look like selling products to somebody, physical products. Then what would I be great at? Maybe you're great at sales. Maybe you're great at marketing, and you could sell these products really easily. You could market them really easily. And if you had to solve a problem for somebody, well, in the cases of these kind of glasses, which are the blue blocker glasses that I should be wearing right now when I'm looking at my screen, that is to protect our eyes. So if I were, the what in this equation would be, I'm going to sell glasses, and what I'm going to do for people is I'm going to help protect their eyesight, and the people that I'm going to be working with would be people that work in front of their computer. So very much we start with the what. The next layer of this process is I then go to who. So now I've kind of worked out in my mind and jotted down some notes about what is it that I want to do? What does my dream work life look like? The what. Now I'm going to the who. Who do I want to actually work with? So with what I want to do, who will I be working with? So my dream customer, if I could wake up every single morning and work with a type of person just like that, doing what I have decided I want to do, then that would be amazing. So the next layer down is who. And in this equation, I'm thinking about who I want to work with, as well as who I do not want to work with. This is really going to help you get specific on, who what it is you're going to be doing, who you're going to be working with, and your customer avatar, which you would have heard many, many times, not just from me, from many other people, about you need to get specific, very, very clear on that. So I would get myself a piece of paper, do a T-bar on it, write down on one side the dream customers I absolutely want to work with, and on the flip side of that, work out who I absolutely don't want to work with, and get that crystal clear. And in fact, I would go as far as saying that who you don't want to work with is almost more important than the people than the opposite side of the equation, who you do want to work with. The reason I'm saying that is because it enables you to articulate who you don't want to work with, and it will repel them. So this process here is about magnetizing the right type of people, pulling them towards you, and also repelling the type of people that you don't want to work with. So who you do and who you don't, very important. So we've covered off the what. We've now just covered off the who. The next is why. So now you've got the what you want to do for your making a living, who you want to work with. Now it's like, this is a bit of an acid test. Why? Why do you want to work with them? Why do you want to do that type of business? Why do you want to sell that type of product? Why is that so important to you? So for me, I'm all about helping people start their own businesses. Why? Because I know that was the pathway for me that has created lifestyle freedom. It's enabled me to do what I want with whom I want every day of the year. So I'm passionate about that. And I know if that is the case for me, it's likely to be the case for lots of other people. So you want to very much now think about why. Why is this particular thing that you are deciding to do, the what? Why is that so important to you? And then equally, why are the people that you want to work with, why are they so important to you? So you want to look at that from a two-pronged approach, the thing and the people. Get very, very clear on that. Now you're probably starting to understand why I'm saying doesn't start with why, it starts with what. Because when you create it in this systematic type of way, you get very, very clear on what it is that you're going to be doing, who you want to do it with, and then you confirm all of that by overlaying your why and understanding, does my why actually line up with what I've said I want to do and the people that I want to work with? Now you've got some level of alignment. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is, once you've got those three, the what, the who, and the why, the next piece of this puzzle is how. Now, how are you going to go about this? Now, I'm going to rattle off these three. There's essentially three different ways that you can sell, right? So with whatever it is that you're doing, if you're starting a business, you're going to need to sell your thing. You're going to have to get very good at that. And there's three ways that you can sell. You can either do it on a one-to-one basis. So for example, got glasses like this. All right. So I've gone through my what. My what is a physical product. Now that I've got a physical product, I've worked out who I'm going to sell it to. The next thing I'm going to do is why. Okay. So if this were me, I'd be going, I should actually put these things on right now and actually wear them. And the reason that I went out and brought these, and I'm sure that the person that created these, is because they want to protect people's eyes. Now, me as a consumer, I know that I should be protecting my eyes. Why? Because my dad has macular degeneration. So if I've got that in my family, it's likely that I should also be looking after my eyes. So if I were doing this, my why would be because I wouldn't want other people to go through what I've seen my dad go through. Okay, so now you're connecting that why with your product and your who. Now you're firmly connected to that, and you're firmly connected to the, no pun intended, but vision and the dream of what you're creating. So it's, how are you going to go about it? Three different ways to sell. One-on-one, which would be these type of products. One person comes and buys them. I'm going to sell to one person at a time. I've got a cafe. I'm going to be selling essentially to one person at a time. So that's a one-on-one. Or you might be a coach and you are coaching one-on-one. Okay, so that's the first way that you can sell. Usually that is, it requires a lot more of your time. It's less leverage with it, but all the same, it's a great place to start, and you absolutely can be doing that. The next way that you can sell is what we call one-to-many. All right, so this is selling to a group of people. Cafe would be a good example of that. So if you were marketing, you had a cafe and you were marketing, you can sell to one person comes in, they have a cup of coffee, they have lunch. You could also do group bookings. Okay, so this system, this applies to any type of business, online, offline, big business, small business. The principles here are the same. So the one-to-many type process, okay, group coaching, you're basically selling to a group of people at any one time. So it could be, sport apparel. I want to sell to sports groups. I'm going to sell to a group rather than to a one person selling just a single t-shirt. So one-to-one, one-to-many, and then the next one is what we call one-to-infinity. One-to-infinity has a lot of leverage with it. The type of thing that you could be doing, and I'm going to talk a lot about this. You'll hear me on the shows talking a lot about one-to-infinity, because this enables you to create something essentially once, and you then maintain it, and then you bring in groups of people that allows you to scale out on a large scale and impact lots of people. What would sit into a one-to-infinity type model would be subscriptions. Okay, so even if you've got a physical product, you can have somebody on a subscription basis. Get a new pair of glasses, every 3 months in a different color. A subscription basis with a membership style program. It could also be an online type program. So all of those things sit into the one-to-infinity. So again, as you're going through this process, you're starting to think about what, who, why, now how. So now that I've talked you through those three different ways to sell, you essentially pick one of those. And then what you're thinking about is, now that I've decided what style of business I'm going to create, what do I need to do? Do I actually need money for this? So do I need to put money down, or am I going to bootstrap this? Moving into 2021, there's lots of opportunities. So even if you are somebody that has minimal amount of money, there is an opportunity for you right now to start your own business. And if you follow me, you'll see I talk a lot about the 1 to infinity model, but also about how to bootstrap and how to put sweat equity into something to get it going. So you don't need to you need some money down, because you can do it from nothing, but it is a little bit harder. So you need some, but do you need a lot? Whereas something like a franchise, for example, if you wanted out of the box, ready to go, systems, processes all set up, you just walk in and push a button, pretty much just follow the system and go, then you might pay thousands and thousands of dollars for that. So again, that's a different type of model that you would be looking to get into. So you're getting now down to the how. Do you need money down? And if you need money down, are you going to put money down to buy systems and processes? And will you hire help? And if so, you go and find the right help to help you get whatever it is up and running that you have decided to do. The next is bootstrap. When you're bootstrapping, it's either you're going to figure it out yourself, or you could simply buy somebody else's program, their step-by-step system that will enable you to follow the process that they have done to create the system that they've got. And you would be able to get into that with minimal costs and essentially then just do a lot of the stuff, a lot of the leg work yourself, right? So when you're doing that, you might also, if you don't want to do it yourself, you might also then bootstrap it, but do sweat equity and get some other partners involved that have skill sets in different areas that you require to get the what completed with the whom you're going to work with, and that now the how, you're going to bring them in and get them to also help you get your idea, product and or service off the ground. So you could bootstrap it and potentially bring in some other partners with sweat equity and allow them to help you get it off the ground. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at when. This again, so there are essentially two big questions in here. So as much as I started with what, the kind of the acid test with this of these two things is the why and the when. So when you've gone through this process and you've looked at, okay, well, what am I going to do? What would my ideal working life look like? What's going to light me up? You've kind of got very clear on that. You've then got to, now who the heck do I want to work with? Because you do not want to start a business that is going to create, going to bring in a whole lot of people that you actually don't enjoy. Because if you do that, I promise you, you are not going to enjoy your business in a year or two's time. You are going to want to get out of it. So you want to make sure that you are attracting the right type of clients, right? Okay. Then we've gone to the why. Why is it so important? Acid test number one. Then the how, the 3 different ways to sell. And am I going to have money to make this happen? Am I going to bootstrap it or get partners in? Then the fifth question you are going to ask is when. This is another one of those acid tests. The question here is it a now thing or is it a later thing? And if it's a now thing, that's probably going to indicate to you that you've got enough passion, enough want, enough why and what to give you the momentum and the passion and the what's the word, like the drive to actually want to see this through to fruition. If the answer here is no, I like the idea, but it's not really a now thing. It's not a thing. Take it off the list. Find your new what. Get your new who, your new how, and start working your way through the process again, particularly if you want to start a new business, hot off the press in the new year. Once you've done all of these things, and like I said, when you're working through the is it a now thing, you also want to ask yourself, are you prepared to move mountains to make this happen? Are you prepared? Like, would you stay up all night and be excited to get in and start working on that business that you've got in your head and you're now bringing to fruition? If that's the answer, then you're going to be in over the Christmas break. Then I would recommend that you continue to work on that. You continue to work on your concept and you go for it in 2021. The next thing I'm going to share with you is how to get your message out. Because once you've done all of that, the place where people get stuck is because they go through this process. They work out their what, their when, their why, their how, their who. They do all of that. Then they get to a stumbling block and it's like, okay, now I've got all of that and it's fantastic and I'm all excited and I'm telling all my friends around me, but now I just don't know how to get my message out to a much wider audience. That is where most people get stuck. Now, if you've been listening to my show, you'll know that there is a huge opportunity right now in the way in which you get your message out. And there's a clue right here. You are watching it right now. It is this. It is getting your message out and starting to speak about it in a confident, in a competent way, so that people want to work with you. You can share your value and you can draw in the right type of people. We call that creating influence and authority. And once we've gone through this process, and I'm taking you through a process that I do with all of our, all businesses that I create, all businesses that I'm involved with, you must get your message out. If you don't get your message out, then only a few people are going to hear about what it is what are the great things that you've got, how you can help people, with eye fatigue by having the type of glasses, by, whatever your product is, you're going to create something that's amazing. And if you follow this process, okay, so you must create influence and authority. The process that we use when we're creating influence and authority is a 3-step process. We call it the ACE system. It's influence, it's connection, and it's exposure. And you've seen how this has all come out in the things that I've talked to you about today. Building influence, you'll do that by doing this process. And then you speak about it online with knowledge and with enthusiasm. That helps you to build your influence. Connection, you connect by creating a message that is relevant to the audience that you are drawing in. And then the next piece of the puzzle is exposure. You need to then get your message out to a much wider audience. And we use a system called the Omni Content Formula, which is all part of the ACE system. Now, if you are someone who wants to start a business in 2021 and you want to figure out how to get the message out, we've just opened a brand new program called the Influence and Authority Method. So if you go to a website, I'm going to pop it up on the screen. If you're interested in doing this, then I would highly recommend you head on over to influenceandauthority.com. And the program is open now, with people starting their new shows in 2021. So a show like this, but it's very, very crafted so that all of these things fit in alignment. It connects your offer, the things that I've just spoken about, your business, with your message, with the show that you do, and every other product that you create. There is absolute alignment across all of those. This then becomes the way that you're able to get your message out. However, here's a warning. If you decide that you're going to go away and you're just going to do a show just like this because you can go and buy a platform to stream, you absolutely can, but you're missing some very vital ingredients in the entire process. And if you get them wrong, you will potentially lead your customers down a very different path, and it will be very hard to be able to bring them back and actually connect your message and your offer together. So you're much better off to follow a process right from the get-go, get your foundations right so that you connect your offer and your message together, and you're able to then build something that you actually really enjoy, you really love, you wake up wanting to get on and speak to your customers. So whether they are in your shop or whether they are online in a program, the same applies. You want to love them, so you love what you do. And that is the pathway to being able to sit on a beach and drink, sip pina coladas further down the track. So I want to say thanks very much for joining me today. I know I've gone fast through that entire process. A lot of these things all of this is actually contained within the Influence and Authority Method, but we go deep into this, understanding your offer, understanding your client avatar, building something that you want, and creating a really amazing show that is going to connect with your audience, build your influence and your authority, and create exposure for you. So like I said, if you want to head on over, I believe Robin Helm, I've just seen that. She's popped that into the comments underneath. Influenceandauthority.com. If you have any questions whatsoever about it, you get to the page and you think, oh, this looks really great, but I've still got more questions, just reach out to me. Go to Tracy M. Wilson, reach out to me, and I'm happy to jump on a call and talk you through that program if we need to have a bit of a chat about it and make sure that it actually is the right fit for you. And if it's not, I'm going to tell you. I will tell you if it is not the right fit for you, because we want people that are going to go through the program and actually get some really great results. So, guys, it's like, wow, I can't believe that it's like December. And tonight, I've got all my family coming over. My grandkids go away on Friday. So we're having Christmas dinner in the Wilson household tonight. So it's going to be a bit of a busy day for me, cooking and getting everything organized. And then in a couple of weeks' time, where, Christmas is here and the new year is upon us. And that's when I know you guys will be thinking about the new thing that you want to create. And like I said previously, now's the time to move. 2021 is going to be a huge year for a lot of people who get the, ACE system right. You get that right, you're away laughing. You're off to the races. So I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I will be back again on Friday for the very last show of the Unlocked for 2020, which I will have a few of our Metadime team on board with me, and we'll be doing a bit of a wrap-up of the year, some of the things that we've done, things that have gone well, bit of behind the scenes, what's not gone so well, et cetera, et cetera. We'll share all of that with you guys. So if you've got any questions whatsoever and you're inside of the Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life group, then just let us know what they are, and we'll cover them off on Friday when I've got the rest of the crew with me. And I'm going to say, Merry Christmas to everyone, and I'll see you guys hopefully inside of the Influence and Authority program. We are still going. We're having a little bit of a break over Christmas, but you want to get yourself up and running in 2021. That's the program to join. We'll get you off to the races in January. So have a fantastic week, everybody. See you again on Friday, 10 a.m. Brisbane time. Same back time, same back channel. I will be here with the rest of the crew, and I'll see you guys then. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.